Hi and welcome to Danklord vs Games. My name is Kevin and today we'll be discussing a new game called Aporia, Beyond the Valley. Aporia is a first-person puzzle game where the story is delivered through other means than dialogue or text. It chooses to give you the story of the surroundings through mural paintings and light projections showing you glimpses of the past. It actually manages to pull the projections off nicely, and it doesn't feel overly complicated to understand. The people you'll be seeing in each projections are wearing different colored tabards, so it's easy to remember and keep track of who's who. Let me show you the first piece of what the game offers to you in the sense of story. Basically, the short story is this. A man makes an elixir out of a mineral that is able to illuminate the surrounding darkness. The elixir is then distributed to everyone in vials and ends up being used for several different things you'll come to figure out as you go. I don't want to spoil too much, so I'll just leave it there. Despite being shown quite little, the entire intro sequence actually made me interested, and that's what made me push through this somewhat hell of a game. There's a few puzzles set out for you to solve that sometimes made me question my own intellect, while others were very obvious to figure out. In my past, I've played a few puzzle games that felt so hardcore I had to Google my every step in order to get past the first few puzzles. This game, however, was not one of them. You won't be told as much as you'll have to figure the puzzles out for yourself, but they're not made out to be impossible. Unfortunately, except for when you're watching a projection, there's not much of any music going on in the background. I felt like I could add so much more emotion where the game wanted to present it by having dynamic sounds that changes depending on the environment or your situation. From what I remember, most music, whenever presented, was just long, drawn-out synth chords, and sometimes I heard a little piano. It worked out for what it was, but it wasn't anything incredible or mind-blowing. For a game focused on exploration, I'm not sure that's acceptable to everyone, especially not when they want €9 for the OST with music I never even knew existed to begin with. Maybe my version of the game just didn't feel like playing music, I don't know. As for some definite bad things, I only crashed once, and believe me, I didn't die. But there were many issues with the game that they seem to ignore to ever test or fix. For example, you can't get out of certain areas of water and you'll be forced to drown yourself or just reload the game. Swimming itself didn't work very well, and to resurface you have to tilt the camera upwards rather than pressing jump or something similar like you do in most other games. Climbing ladders was incredibly awkward too, and I have no idea how it passed whatever quality assurance team they had. It sometimes even lunges you forward a few steps, having you confused for a moment, wondering where the heck you ended up. It is not a game that felt highly polished, but it felt like it was made with passion in mind. Reading up on their website, they claim that the world itself is a AAA-like world, and to that I would highly disagree. It almost makes me wonder if their passion is making them delusional, because the game world itself is just not that big or detailed, and at no point did I feel like it had great level design. The enclosed areas, however, actually looked really nice, and it got me to speculate that the starting and ending sequences of the game probably were the first things that the developers worked on. It's almost like they had both the start and the end, liked what they saw and wanted to merge it all together by having an outside area to explore. They then cranked up the lighting to 1000 and hoped that you wouldn't notice the actual flaw of the game. It's an exploration game, but everything is unlocked, discovered, and presented the same way each time in a very linear fashion. The areas might be new and undiscovered to the player's eyes the first time around, but that in itself is not exploration, and you cannot go out of your way to stray off path since everything is unlocked, like mentioned, in a very linear fashion. God damn it. The game was made using CryEngine, and I wonder why the game ended up looking like it's actually from 10 years ago. The lighting is overpowering at times, and it almost feels like a huge blanket to try and hide the poor texture quality hiding beneath the surface. If you value graphical quality, be aware of that, because I played the game on the highest settings possible, and screenshots can sometimes be deceiving, especially when downscaled to a lower resolution like they are on the Steam store page. I definitely felt slightly cheated in that sense that I thought the game looked way better in the screenshots than it actually did in-game. Let me just briefly mention that I really wanted to like this game. I started off really curious and slightly excited, but exploring became a chore and I ended up dissatisfied towards the end as the game's flaw started to seep through the cracks. None of the two endings I got to see could really remedy all the crap that I endured to get to that point, and the content was kind of meager, which basically resulted in this review being quite short on information. I don't want to spoil the story when story really is all the game is going to offer to you, but I do want to warn you of what you're getting yourself into. The game is priced at €17 and it will roughly take you 2 to 4 hours to complete. Would I recommend this game? No, not for the time being at least. Just wait to see if some patches start rolling out and wait for a much larger discount than its current 10%. If they start rolling out patches, at least it means that they sort of care about the game and they want to improve constantly, but I'm not sure about that right now. They might just abandon the project. Once again, my name is Kevin and thank you for watching. I love each and every one of you for taking the time and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I do, drop a like or better yet a subscribe. If you dislike the video, tell me about your feelings. One last thing. I've been streaming a lot lately with my friend Furball. If you want to see me get wrecked playing Rocket League and PlayerUnknown, and sometimes some other games like Darkest Dungeons or Dark Souls, head out to mixer.com and search for Danklord vs Games and you'll be on your way to glory. See ya! Okay.
Nej, det är lördags. Nej, S och sen strosa. Så jag vet inte. Jag läste lördagsstrosa.
Jag förstod det. Åh gud! Kom här Furball. Kom här Furball.
Nej!
Jag kommer aldrig glömma slangakuken.se i alla fall.
The cool shot.
Yeah, I noticed.
I'm gonna need this boost. Woohoo!